major was mathematics. And this line of what I'm doing now came about because of my interest in our literature and in our poetry that was instilled in me by my oldest sister, who lived in New York, who was sent there to get a high school education. And the poems that I have chosen for today, with the exception of one, are all poems from authors of that time. And actually, it might be almost 70 years ago that I first heard some of these poems. Mm-hmm. And there were many writers and poets of that time, but their works weren't published as much, or they weren't used. We were not aware of them, even in our black schools. So I feel that many of them had something to tell us, and I know that they inspired me. And each writer that we'll mention had a variety of poetry, not just one type. Some was in straight English, some was in dialect. And I haven't chosen any dialect today because I'm not very good at doing that unless I practice a lot. Paul Laurence Dunbar, for instance, had much of his poetry published in dialect. We're going to begin today with a poem by Langston Hughes called The Negro Mother, because I think it tells us of our deep feelings as women about what happened to us and how we want our children to know this, and yet we want them to be able to go on. Children, I come back today to tell you a story of the long, dark way that I had to climb, that I had to know in order that the race might live and grow. Look at my face, dark as the night, yet shining like the sun with love's pure light. I am the child they stole from the sand 300 years ago in Africa's land. I am the black girl who crossed that dark sea, carrying in my body the seed of the free. I am the woman who worked in the field, bringing the cotton and corn to yield. I am the one who labored as a slave, beaten and mistreated for the work that I gave. Children sold away from me, husbands sold too. No safety, no love, no respect was I due. A prey to white passion, a slave to white lust. Nothing was too low for me then in the dust, 300 years ago in the deepest South. But God put a song and prayers in my mouth. God put a dream like steel in my soul. Now through my children young and free, I realize the blessings denied to me. I couldn't read then, I couldn't write. I had nothing back there in the night. Sometimes the valley was filled with tears, but I had to keep on through the lonely years. Sometimes the road was hot with sun, but I had to keep on till my work was done. I had to keep on, no stopping for me. I was the seed of the coming free. I nourished a dream then that nothing could smother, deep in my breast, the Negro mother. I had only hope then, but now through you dark ones of today, my dreams must come true. Oh, you precious dark children in the world out there, remember my sweat, my pain, my despair. Remember my years heavy with sorrow, and make of those years a torch for tomorrow. Make of the past a road to the light, out of the darkness, the ignorance, the night. Lift high my banner out of the dust. Stand like free men, supporting my trust. Believe in the right. Let none push you back. Remember the whip and the slaver's track. Remember how the strong in struggle and strife still bar you the way and deny you life. But march ever forward, breaking down bars. Look ever upward at God's sun and the stars. Oh, my dark children, may dreams and my prayers impel you forever up the great stairs. For I will be with you. No white brother dares keep down the children of the Negro mother. Now, this poem by Langston Hughes, to me, is a recitation of our history, just as the Jews in the Bible constantly told of the slavery of their people and the struggles of their people. And to me, I equate this with that.
It's just a wonderful legacy that she's passed down to many generations if it was just written for her children.
Yes.
It's just gone out.
Yeah, but he was writing it for that exact purpose. Yeah. And to help us to know that we had to rise in spite of what had happened in the past. Yeah. And that God was with us.
Well, did it beautifully. That's wonderful. It was read very well.
Thank you. And now we are ready for talking about Harriet Tubman.
Okay. Is that her?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, what's coming up next is a poem that was written by Eloise Greenfield about a lady called Harriet Tubman.
Which we've got a roll-in on that, which we'll watch now. It's called Harriet Tubman, and it's read by Jessica Balaney. And Harriet Tubman was written by Eloise
Greenfield.
Okay. Got it all in.
Harriet Tubman by Eloise Greenfield. Harriet Tubman didn't take no stuff, wasn't scared of nothing neither. Didn't come in this world to be no slave, and wasn't going to stay one either. Farewell, she sang to her friends one night. She was mighty sad to leave 'em, but she ran away that dark, hot night, ran looking for her freedom. She ran to the woods, and she ran through the woods, with the slave catchers right behind her. She kept on going till she got to the north, where those mean men couldn't find her. 19 times she went back south to get 300 others. She ran for her freedom 19 times to save black sisters and brothers. Harriet Tubman didn't take no stuff, wasn't scared of nothing neither. Didn't come in this world to be no slave, and didn't stay one either. And didn't stay one either.
Okay.
Oh, caught asleep again. Now we're back to, you want to explain, there's not much to explain. It's pretty
clear about
clear.
What she did. She was a runaway slave, and she brought many others to freedom through the Underground Railroad. And she once said, "I never run my train off the track, and I never lost a passenger," which she didn't. I think she took over 300 slaves to freedom using what is called the Underground Railroad, where she had safe houses along the way. Many of them were houses of Quakers who were whites, of course. And this is something we always like to emphasize, that many whites helped in trying to get us our freedom. But she was called the Black Moses of our people, because she was one of those who led others to freedom. And now we are going to
Bitter fruit.
Bitter fruit.
You want the roll-in on that, or do you want to?
That's not the right one, then.
You want the roll-in on the bitter fruit?
No,
not
no
yet.
Picture. There's no picture. That's not in. we'll have the roll-in, yes, on bitter fruit.
What's the...
They said to my grandmother, "Please do not be bitter." When they sold her firstborn and let the second die. When they drove her husband till he took to the swamplands and brought him home bloodied and beaten at last. They told her, "It is better you should not be bitter. Some must work and suffer so that we, who must, can live. These are your orders. You are not to be bitter." And they left her shack for their porticoed house. They said to my father, "Please do not be bitter." When he plowed and planted a crop not his, when he weather stripped a house that he could not enter, and stored away a harvest that he could not enjoy. They answered his questions, "It does not concern you. It is not for you to know. It is past your understanding. All you need to know is you must not be bitter." And they laughed on their way to reckon the crop. And my father walked over the wide garnered acres, where a cutting wind warned him of the cold to come. They said to my brother, "Please do not be bitter. It is not sad to see the old place go to ruin. The eaves are sprung and the chimney tower is leaning. The sills, joists, and columns are rotten in the core. The blinds hang crazy, and the shingles blow away. The fields have gone back to the broom seed and pine, and the soil washes down the red gully scars. With so much to be done, there's no time for being bitter. Your father made it for us. It is up to you to save it. What is past is over, and you should not be bitter. But my brother is bitter,
Hamad.
and he does not hear."
Good job on
Okay.
that. So, that was Hamad who did a beautiful job on that. And you wanted to say what about that?
I wanted to talk just a bit about Sterling A. Brown. He was one of the most influential poets and scholars, and he was a native of Washington, D.C. His father was a professor of religion at Howard University, and he wrote lots of poetry that tells of the Negro folklore. He went to the South a lot, and his book of poems and short stories and other writings were great, and they were used in his work at Howard University because he stayed there for almost 50 years teaching. He helped us to relive our history. A lot of his poems are humorous and in the vernacular of the people of that day, before we had education as such. And he said that we had to learn how to laugh at ourselves. And this was part of the reason for his poetry. And not only laugh at ourselves, but then be inspired. And he was a very great man and did much to help us along the way.
Well, this bit of fruit was not a humorous.
No, that one was not humorous.
No, okay.
I did not, as I
just
told you, I
wondering.
didn't choose any of the humorous ones because I'm not very good. I didn't know any right offhand.
Right.
And this was the one I had read, and it is one that was used to make us serious, to see the serious part of it all.
Well, to make you think of, what did go on years ago and how it must have felt. I don't think, you never can really feel unless you've gone through it, but you can get a pretty good idea of how a poet comes across.
Right. He had another one that I knew well called Strong Men, and in that one he tells of what happened to us, how they dragged us from our homeland, but he said the refrain was, strong men keep coming on, strong men getting stronger. So, as I said, it was a variety. He had a mixture of poetry and other writings.
Oh.
Okay.
Now, think the next one is yours, right?
Okay, we want
Lift up every voice and sing.
Sing, and that's by James Weldon Johnson. Now, James Weldon Johnson was another great poet and writer of short stories. And he wrote this song, the title of Lift Every Voice and Sing, which is inspiring. It can be used as a song or a poem or a prayer. He wrote the words to it, and his brother, J. Rosamond Johnson, gave the music. And when I was in school, in high school, we used to sing this song, and we called it the Negro National Anthem, because it was to inspire us to do our best. Lift every voice and sing. Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears have been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, true to our where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, Thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path, we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee, lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land. Now, this poem is one that I know inspired many of us to keep on. And that last verse, which is the prayer, is a prayer that I wish we could hear more often with our youth today. I feel in many cases we have not taught enough about our people and about their struggles and what we went through, and to know that we have got to move on, and we've got to still have God, and we still have to have the love for each other and for our native land. And this is what he was inspiring us to do in that poem and in that song.
I think it's, yeah, I love the true to our God, true to our native land.
Yes.
That's just such a beautiful ending to people who have gone through so much, and yet
we love
can
our
be
country.
true
Yes,
to
we
God
love our
and
country, and we want to be true to our country.